Welcome to Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup. I'm your host, Jason Bland, and tonight we have guest Peter Benson. He is the creator of Tensor Energy Tools, basically tools to raise your frequency and vibration, to cover, soul shards, basically to bring up you to higher vibration for meditation. There's a lot of different uses. From what I'm reading from the material off of his website we'll give out tonight. He's the husband of Yvain Chevet that we had on a few weeks ago, I think it was. And she was a super spectacular guest. So I've been looking forward to having Peter on and get familiar with whatever Tensor Energy Tools are. I've heard a little bit about it over the years, but not very familiar. So I will be getting educated as much as you are tonight. And you can call in if you have questions about the content that Peter's going over tonight and his different... basically, they're like medallions and anklets and things that you wear on your body that help raise your vibration. You can call in, ask your questions of Peter tonight, later in the show. And of course, tons of weird to get to. Lots of weird, always seems like. I never have a shortage of weird. 8 years of doing this show. And I remember when I first started out, I really struggled to find the articles to cover for the World Wide Web. It's never a struggle anymore. There's just so much weirdo going on. That's the world we live in. A lot to get into. So let's go ahead and get rolling on into it. Welcome to another night of Paranormal Soup. As I said before, I'm your host, Jason Bland. Tonight's guest, Peter Benson, will be joining us after the World Wide Web of Weird, after our first commercial break. Joining me, as always, is my beautiful co-host, Jamie D. How you doing tonight, Jamie?
Hey, doing pretty good, thank you.
How's it out in California? I mean, I know you're not near hurricane stuff going on, but, I mean, have you been hearing anything out there?
It just kind of was a tropical storm, and it's really humid, gross. Yeah.
That's why it's named Hillary. All right, move. Boom. Sorry, can't help it. Rob Autry from St. Augustine, Florida. No hurricanes there, right? Let's hope not.
None.
We've had
yet.
enough of that with you.
We've
had enough of that. How many show nights have we had? Well, I don't know if Rob's going to make it. There's another hurricane.
They're stacking up out there, so who knows who's going to get it.
I probably just cursed you. You're probably going to get a hurricane next week.
Yep.
Just saying. But we got a lot of weird to get to, so let's go ahead and roll into the World Wide Web of Weird. Tonight on the World Wide Web of Weird, we've always wondered if one day we'll ever prove Bigfoot exists, or Loch Ness exists, or some of these other cryptic creatures. Well, one I've said 8 years ago doing this show, remind you, again, 8 years, wow, is the big cat, black cats of England. I've always said I think we're so close to proof of that, and I think they've got the DNA. Now they got a really stunning picture. I think the cat's out of the bag. Bum, bum, bum. They are real. They are here. They are in England. The big cat is a real thing. So if they can prove that, can they prove Bigfoot? For those listening on the Paranormal Soup Radio Network, we are a webcast. We stream out live to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And if you want to watch, come join along, or I will narrate as best as possible. All right. Also, hey, I need to start mentioning, we are playing as reruns now on a network, and I totally forgot it, in Scotland. So if you're listening to this in Scotland, don't call in tonight because this show's a replay for you. I should get that out there. But look at this picture. So this is from Daily Mail. Proof big cats are roaming the British countryside. Question mark. I don't know. Any question anymore? Documentary maker discovers clearest ever photo of panther-like creature lying in the long grass in Staffordshire. The picture was discovered in the fields of a zoology organization and shows a large muscular black cat lying in a long grass in Smallthorne, Staffordshire. It was accompanied by a handwritten note dated March 17th, but it's unclear which year it was taken. Experts said that if the photo is genuine, then it's probably the best photo of a British big cat that exists. The image is featured as one of several potential pieces of evidence supporting the existence of such cats in British countryside as part of an award-winning documentary. They got DNA on these two to just show that they were there. I mean, this has gone on for a long time, modern age of people claiming and people being, no, there's no way there's big cats in England. And here we are. So will that happen with Bigfoot? I mean, they haven't captured one. It's the same deal. Now they've just gotten photos and some DNA evidence. I think we've gotten photos and video and DNA evidence of Bigfoot.
How do we know, though, that was in England, that picture there?
Right. Well, it's claimed that it was from there. That's the thing. More provenance on this picture would be great. But I think there's so much evidence now that it's just overwhelming. And one day that they will catch one of these there. And, now Bigfoot, I don't know I don't want them to catch it. I don't know. I don't want that to happen to Bigfoot. But with the cat, they should.
It's like Florida,
all right.
Florida, we got everything here that's not supposed to be here. Burmese pythons, Cuban tree frogs.
Because all you people
getting
pet snakes down in Florida. I wonder what kind of people do that, Rob.
I'm responsible.
Snakes are not pets. I lost subscribers, I know. I just cannot stand snakes. Okay, let's move on. We'll get to snakes in a minute. We got this one, though. I saw Josh Turner sharing this, talking about this is something similar to what he had seen. Or maybe one of his callers. I missed that. Sorry, Josh. I saw him just post this. Is where I got it from. A mysterious animal caught on camera in Texas neighborhood. And there's another one picture. This is just from the article here. Texas woman is seeking her help identifying a mysterious animal she caught on camera in her neighborhood. Tina Kalig said she quickly moved to snap pictures when she looked out from her hill country village home and spotted something that left her stumped. I was inside and I looked out into the yard, Kalig told KENS TV, and I saw an animal right here and I thought, wow, what is that? She said the creature was feasting on berries that had fallen from a bush. Kaylee posted her photos to Nextdoor, where neighbors offered their own theories, including several suggestions that she found the mythical chupacabra. Just say chupacabra. Go ahead. There's another set of photos that they actually have, there we are. Some people think it's a cross between a coyote and a dog. Local legend has it that a mountain lion lives near Hill County Village, but city officials said it has never been caught on camera. Well, that's not a mountain lion. The city Hill Country Village. What?
It kind of has like a cat type body, but a dog kind of a head, and it kind of is like a pig almost.
Hyena is what it reminds me of a little bit. The ears.
It's a hell jackal.
Yeah. Would you want to run across this thing? I wouldn't. No. What it reminds me of is a corpse of a creature I found. It had been pretty decomposed, but the ears and the length and the body were about the same as this. In Kingsford Heights, there's an old munitions from World War II and that our Army used, and it's a bunch of vacant property out here in Indiana. Maybe, and some people claim government installations and stuff like that out here, but I saw something weird like that out there. But this is Indiana. This is Texas, where they do have a lot of chupacabra things. I don't know. I tried to rescue a dog today on the road. That was poor guy was injured and going on the road. I lost him in a cornfield.
Its back leg almost looked like a deer on that top picture. The way the back leg just stretched out. It looks like this is made up of different animal body parts.
Yeah, it looks like a deer leg right there.
I mean, you have all these wild dogs out there breeding and stuff. Who knows what kind of breeds we're getting out of it? I know that what they had out in Kingsford Heights, some of the wild dogs I saw out there were nothing like any wild breeds of dogs I'd ever seen. Because they're been out there for how long breeding? People dump dogs. Like I said, I just found somebody had dumped their dog. I could, what I could do to a person who would dump a dog. But somebody dumps their dogs out in the country. Somebody dumped this poor dog today I was trying to rescue, and I lost. Yes, I didn't chase it into a cornfield. That's how bad horror movies start. Okay, I almost did though, and but you know, all these wild dogs that ended up breeding in different breeds and stuff. God knows what they're going to end up looking like. I'm not saying that's what happened here. It's chupacabra. I don't know.
You know, if Bigfoot's interdimensional possibilities, who knows what other animals could come through too? You know.
All right, let's move on. Got a snake, man? What I don't like is snakes. Like I try to save the dog. I will not save a snake, and this is my worst fear. Thank you, Porky's too. Is a snake in the toilet. I literally, ever since I was a kid, I saw Porky's too, and people are like, you were a kid and you saw Porky's too. Not my mom's fault. She didn't know. But some Porky's too. And they had the snake in the toilet prank they do on the poor gym teacher. And yes, I know she was an awful person in the movie, but I felt bad for her because it's like my worst all-time fear. I'm like, yep, I found my all-time fear now. When I saw that scene. And I always look in the toilet before I sit down. This woman, Unexplained Mysteries, a woman had been away on a 4-day trip, returned to her home to find an unexpected visitor in her bathroom. If there's one thing you don't want to find emerging from a U-bend is a reptile with a penchant for sinking its fangs into your posterior. But that's exactly what Michelle Lesbron discovered after returning her home in Tucson, Arizona back in July. The encounter last week went viral when a local snake removal company posted up a clip on social media. I'd been gone for 4 days and was looking forward to using my own restroom in peace. I know that feeling, right? Right? You know, you're away from home and it's like, it's just not the same. And you get back to your own personal toilet and you're like, oh yeah. It's like Rick and Morty. If you've ever seen Rick's personal toilet, he has a planet just so he can take a dump. Yeah, it's that feeling. So I get that. The encounter went viral. Oh, hold on. I lost my spot. Sorry, thinking about that, right? Everybody has the same reaction. Oh my God, that's my worst nightmare, right? Right? I think everybody, even people that are pet snake owners, you would freak. Just get the damn snake out of the camera. Get the snake out of the camera. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. Even when you're in a tiny box, it's not allowed.
Oh, he wants to say hi.
Hi. Bye, Felicia. Get him out. Get a look, you know. Fortunately, a handler was eventually able to remove the black and pink Coach Whip snake from the bathroom and was even able to capture the moment on camera with his cell phone. The 3 to 4 foot serpent was later released back into the wild a good distance from the house. No. I don't think I'd ever build that comfort zone of your own bathroom. After that would be completely ruined forever, eternity. I worked at a place at a building where that supposedly happened to a manager before I'd started working there. And the story goes, she ran out of the bathroom with her pants hanging down to her ankles, screaming, "Hi hell." You know, and so I never used that. I never did in that bathroom. That's all it took was me to hear that story. I'm like, nope.
I hold it.
I ended up leaving that job.
She saw it, or it like came up at her while she was just sitting there.
She was in the toilet, on the toilet, and it was in the toilet. Yes, the worst scenario possible, except that it didn't bite her, but she got out of there running and screaming. Traumatizing things. All right. I wouldn't want to kill the snake, though. I'm glad they released it in a while. I don't think you should kill a snake. You know, even though I hate snakes, I wouldn't want to kill one. But you know, we're good at that. Next article. Did we find and then inadvertently kill life on Mars 50 years ago? That's Unexplained's title. It's a little misleading. We didn't go kill life on Mars. We brought life back here and then killed it. That's pretty much some of this story. How much time we got left? Yeah, because I could sum it up as basically that. With 2 car-sized rovers and even a helicopter drone currently exploring a Martian landscape, it's easy to forget that it hasn't been that long since the idea of landing a spacecraft on the surface of Mars seemed like little more than a science fiction. NASA's first accomplished this feat. We all know this. Viking, blah, blah, blah. But let's get to astrobiologist Professor Dink Schultz Makuch of the Technical University of Berlin now believes that the experiment designed to find life in Martian soil may have inadvertently killed it. The key mistake, he argues, was adding water. It's got it's got electrolytes, Brando. No, water, right? Water should be good. No, it wasn't. Something like that would even kills microbes found eking out an existence in some driest environments on our planet. If the Martian cells contained hydrogen peroxide, that would have killed them, he wrote. Moreover, it would have caused the hydrogen peroxide to react with any other organic molecules in the vicinity to form large amounts of carbon dioxide, which is exactly what the instruments detected. Blah, blah, blah. I don't understand the thing, but he's saying we killed life. So there could have been life in the soil, but we killed it because we added water. I mean, it works on Earth.
I guess that's the point of experiments.
Should have done one where because they only had so much Martian soil, they should have done some where they added water and then they did whatever else they needed to add. I don't know. What do you add? Hydrogen peroxide? I don't know.
Sample and mess it up.
Yeah. Hey, Matt Damon was able to grow potatoes on Mars with his poop. We can go.
Poop taters.
Poop taters. Matt Damon. Okay, let's move on. All right, let's get to some UFO stuff. All right, what's this first? International Space Station. If you want to watch this in the entirety of the video with the audio from the NASA feed, Hidden Underbelly 2.0, my favorite YouTube for videos on UFOs, ghosts, and all that stuff, has the full video analysis of this. But cosmonauts conducting a spacewalk on the International Space Station may have had something of an interstellar audience, as footage of an event features a peculiar moment wherein 2 silvery UFOs eerily appear on the darkness of space. I actually think it's just one. You see it uncloak, and it looks like a saucer. I'm not going to read this. This is from Coast to Coast, but they end up cutting the feed on this when it's live. I don't have the audio from it. It's muted, but if you go to Hidden Underbelly 2.0, he has the audio in there, and they're talking and all this, and then they cut the feed. Like, they know this thing. This scene, like, decloaks. This is my zoom in of it. It's hard to see, but it's like it decloaks. Yeah. And it does look like it's 2, but I think it's 1. It's decloaking, and it's a saucer. It looks like a saucer.
Conveniently got cut.
Yes.
Or
that's when you know it's...
Or put his glove right in front of it.
If you're seeing something amazing, like, is that a UFO I'm seeing on the International Space Station, and they don't cut the feed, it's probably some space particle or something explainable. They'll tell you later. But if they cut the feed, you just saw aliens.
Yeah.
That's why you screen.
Or government black budget programs, right?
Do not.
I mean, it's really blurry, but I think it's one object that's like decloaking there. You know, I still don't buy Elon Musk thing. It's like, I have Starlink satellites. I would know if there was alien spaceships. I think he's seeing that crap and he's an alien. I don't know, keeping his mouth quiet.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. How does he not see it with Starlink? Because, I mean, we see it on the International Space Station. We see it with people seeing stuff in the skies. How is he not seeing with Starlink?
He ain't looking.
Probably
yeah, or Starlink sucks. I don't know.
Some government NDA.
That might be broad. That might be it. But wouldn't it be best to say, maybe in the NDA it says you cannot say I can't discuss that because that will give it away. You have to say no, I totally don't believe in it.
Mm-hmm. And I would know.
Maybe if you want to keep our government contract.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, so now we got this one from Argentina. And, you know, I'm waiting to see if there's anything that comes out more, because last week we covered the whole Peru thing. There's a lot in South America when it comes to UFOs. I think they are way more active for some reason in South America. Maybe there's an alien base in that area or in the ocean near that area, on either, you know, the Gulf of Mexico maybe. But I've been hoping we'd get more information on the Peru thing. I haven't seen too much else come out. Who knows what's going on there? They had the military come down and blame it on miners. I don't know. But Argentina has also been a hot spot. And these pictures, okay, so these are from a journalist who took these pictures. A tantalizing set of photographs circulating online purportedly show a remarkably clear, and it's very clear, diamond-shaped UFO hovering in the skies over the plains of Argentina. The jaw-dropping picture seen in the video, well, we have pictures here, I don't have the video, were posted on social media last week by Argentina journalist Claverita Medios, if I say that right. And sharing the photos, he claimed that they were taken in the town of El Escorial. I don't know. I totally butchered that. Subsequently sent to me by a resident of the plateau who asked to protect his identity. When pressed on if he could provide the images in their original format for analysis, Marios indicated that I'll do my best, but I'm not authorized, and went on to explain that the witness was a field worker who does not want to have anything to do with exposing himself so much. Although the person behind the camera and the circumstances surrounding the sighting remain a mystery, the photos have understandably caused quite a stir in UFO circles by the virtue of the remarkable clarity. Yeah, these aren't blurry. The very first one, you go to that one. I don't know if you can zoom in anymore on that. It's super clear, and it seems like it's a series of photos. Like this thing popped up, it was hovering there. He took a photo, and then it changes position. He takes another photo, and it starts to move off. Takes another photo, and it's heading out, and it's blurry, and he takes another photo. That seems to be the sequence. But
that's
this,
what it looks like to me.
Yeah. Could this be a digital creation? You betcha. That's why we need providence. I get it why somebody might not want to come out. I get, we don't know their situation. But that's kind of why we need to.
Because I don't see like the weird kind of blur like that you get on your camera phone when you take pictures of the sky. Because I'm constantly taking pictures of the sky, and when it's a blue sky,
not in that one you don't.
Kind of this,
the last one you do.
That
the
little
first
shadow
one you don't.
around it.
Yeah. All of them get a little blurrier as it goes.
I'm talking about around the object.
Oh, around it?
The actual blue of the sky.
Yeah. Thing to tell if it's a fake is when they ask me, we need the originals. Yeah, I need the originals. Whatever they taken on, the original format. Todd Reiner would rip it apart probably. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. It's possible. Like I said, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. That'd be a big UFO, it looks like, too. It's hard to tell because it's over plains. I guess this is on a plateau.
I mean, other people would have had to see that. That'd be humongous.
Now, this is like, I think, out more of a, do you see a lot of buildings or houses around? This seems like this is out in the middle of nowhere. But it's hard to say. I don't know.
It'd be like a highway in Las Vegas or something. You're just looking over the mountains.
Well, this is in Argentina. And they have a lot of
kind of situation.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the last one. So during the UFO hearings, we had Ryan Graves, which I thought some of his testimony was some of the most interesting. But I think he was also the one who was talking about the cubes inside the spheres, which is interesting because then you have those crop circles where it shows a cube inside a sphere. So he's had some interesting testimony. Well, people ask me, why did you get, like, my mom's like, why are you back on Twitter? I got on Twitter for two reasons. One, RFK Jr. 2024 hashtag. And number two is I wanted to get on and be able to follow people like Ryan that's on there because he's actually posting more stories from people who are coming out and evidence and photos and videos. You see, he has a video. I'm not going to play any of that. And he has photos on there. You can go to, if you go on Twitter, Ryan Graves has been posting this. And his newest one, former Navy pilot and UFO witness, has started to publish testimonies of other pilots who have had UFO encounters. Graves, who is certainly no stranger to UFOs, having witnessed a mysterious object with no visible means of propulsion around 10 years ago during his time with the U.S. Navy, has now started to publish testimonies of others, anonymous pilot witnesses on Twitter. Or is it X? I don't know. The latest, which happened during a flight from Santo Domingo to New York back in July, even includes photographs of the object that was encountered at the time. At approximately 1 hour into the flight, as we were approaching the southern boundary of the New York oceanic airspace, and at 32,000 feet, I called out a visual on traffic that was excessively bright and looked like about 80 miles from range, and then disappeared visually, the pilot wrote. I never saw the traffic on TCAS. Then a few minutes later, I saw two objects round in shape, one lighted and one not flying in formation just above the horizon at a range of, I guess, around 120, 200 NM. I don't know what that is. The objects would illuminate to be as bright as a star for several seconds, then go dark for a few minutes, only to illuminate again. This went on for the remaining 2.5 hours of my flight to New York on an L453 in the oceanic airspace. The lights seemed to be on or just above the horizon until we got closer to our destination of New York. Just prior to the beginning of our descent, the objects appeared much higher in the sky, 80 to 90 degrees above the horizon, and much further away, actually out of the atmosphere. And there's some of these photos in there. I don't know if you can zoom in on those bottom ones. See this thing going upper atmosphere. It'd be down, yeah, if you go down. Sorry, I should have put those photos in there. Now, this is way up there. This ain't drones, I don't think. It'd be military, maybe. Now, I saw something. I don't know if you guys seen it. It's going around of a former CIA analysis person who's come out. I can't think of the name. Who's saying that they know about aliens. They've known about aliens. They're prepping us for aliens. This is a slow rollout because they're going to make total contact by the year 2027. Or is that Project Bluebeam?
Yeah.
Right? What do you know?
One. It's the new Project Bluebeam that I don't remember the name of.
I believe aliens have been here for thousands of years, since the beginning of man. You know, I believe they're here now. But I do not throw it past I've never bought into the whole Project Bluebeam. I think it's more complicated than that. But I would not be surprised for a military and government and military industrial complex in particularly, really, is who I'm talking about, to fake alien stuff to get, or release alien stuff to fear us into more budget for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're obviously, there's a lot of people more and more waking up to the fact that the Ukraine war is a bunch of BS. And we found out how much money, how many much more trillions of dollars we got to waste, 8 trillion more, on all these pointless wars. I mean, we've not had a good track record lately, you know, from Ukraine to Afghanistan to Iraq. We've not made anything better. I don't think we've ever made anything better from any country we put our military in, ever.
Come on, man, it's the thing, you know.
World War II is about it. It's about the only time. And, you know, they got to get their money somehow. So, and they want one world government. They're going to use disease or aliens to do that.
That's where it's going.
Because both give you a bunch of fear and get people to do something stupid and give away their freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I am a little concerned about that. I am. The Project Bluebeam people out there, I get you. I understand that. I think there's more to it than what the official Bluebeam conspiracy is, but I'm a little worried about what they're up to. At the same time, we're doing a bunch of stupid stuff on this earth, and it does not surprise me aliens might show up on our doorstep. Just not the White House, please, because God knows you're not. Don't go there. Yeah. That's it for the World Wide Web of Weird. Tonight's guest is Peter Benson. We're going to talk about tensor energy tools. Is something I'm interested in learning more about that I've heard about over the years, and I want to get an idea because I'm interested. I'd like to raise my energy vibration. You know, I believe in the power of stones, and I think he uses stones like quartz and stuff like that in there. My younger self never believed in that until I actually had a rose quartz stone and a pendulum float up in the air and hold there. That and holding it, I just could feel the power. So I believe in this stuff. If you don't, we'll tune in a different show. But maybe stay. Open your mind to new ideas. Raise your vibration and energy. That's what we're going to try to learn about tonight with our guest, Peter Benson, after the short commercial break.
Join us every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for Weird Wednesday, the live stream, with your hosts Jamie, the Living Dead Girl, and Rob, the Phantom, where we'll talk about all things paranormal, including zodiac, astrology, tarot card and oracle card readings, live ghost boxing and spirit communication, where we'll do Voices from Beyond, the Cold Case Files. So we hope you join us live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Of the second kind, physical evidence of a UFO. Close encounters of the third kind, contact. From Steven Spielberg, the director of Jaws, comes one of the most ambitious and unusual films ever made. And what you will see has never been seen before. It's a cosmic mystery crossing what many scientists believe will be the next threshold of human experience. It is called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It begins in an Indiana town and leads to one inescapable conclusion. We are not alone. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Certificate A. Now showing at the Odeon, Leicester Square.
The international chart-topping Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest has been described as terrifyingly real, a must-read, shocking and chilling brilliance, genuinely worrying, utterly frightening. Don't read before bed. Described as one of the spookiest writers out there, best-selling author G.L. Davies presents Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest. The true paranormal account that is shocking the world. Dare you enter? Dare you read? Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, and wherever books are sold. Pray you never have to live there.
This is the sound of a space clock aboard a U.S. satellite 180 miles above the Earth. No one winds up this timepiece. It's powered by a tiny battery, a battery that delivers power for years without replacement. Now the same type of battery, the Duracell battery, can bring new reliability and long life to your battery-operated equipment. Radios, cameras, toys, all run far longer. Duracell batteries, the long-distance power cells, outlast any ordinary battery. The same type of battery that keeps space clocks running for years can bring long life to anything powered by batteries. Dura, as in durable. Cell, as in power cell. The Duracell battery, made by Mallory.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from Talkstream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Switch to DCS Ranger.
240, nominal to profile.
We're in the pipe, 5 by 5.
Tonight on Paranormal Soup, our guest is supposed to be Peter Benson, but I don't have him in the waiting room. I usually do an intro here, but I checked with him. He was supposed to be on, but I don't have him. So I'm not sure what we're doing tonight. Check my email, make sure. I'll check it again that he's not having any issues. Nothing. Well, that ain't good. Huh. Well, I'll stop the dramatic music and we'll get going and figure out what's going on here. Hopefully we can figure out getting our guest tonight. It's supposed to be Peter Benson, trying to figure out what's going on. All right. Pull up Jamie and Rob here. Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing in email. And nothing. I'll send him an email.
Is he on Facebook?
I don't know. I don't have him on Facebook. Email him. Did you get the time wrong? Huh.
I don't think that's ever happened.
Oh, yeah, it has. Oh, yeah, it has. It has. I think already once this year. Before this.
I remember the last time, but I didn't know that you actually had gone live.
Yeah. Like live and not know until that moment? Yeah. I think that's the
Yeah.
first time this year. Yeah. So those joining us, we were supposed to have Peter Benson on. I'm going to have to change the title of this here. If I don't get a response back here, I'll keep an eye out for the next few minutes. Otherwise, we'll do open lines. You guys can call in and we can talk about whatever. A lot going on in the world, if you haven't heard.
I'm interested in hearing him talk about that. I'm wearing something that I just made recently. It's kind of the same idea in a way. Or
See,
like
I thought you would be interested in this gust, yeah.
Yeah, or like a medicine bag. The same concept as wearing a medicine bag. But all the ingredients put in there, the crystals, the herbs, the talisman and everything have a certain intent and a certain purpose. And I pour this intent oil over, which kind of binds it together. And then, you envision it being supercharged in there inside the glass. So when you're holding the glass, I've actually been wrapping copper around the top too, because it's a conduit and can actually help take negative energy and bad vibes that you might bring into the house and transform it into good vibrations, positive vibes.
I think it's an important topic I wanted to get into. I don't know as much about, and I know you're a jewelry maker, and I knew you'd be interested in this gust. And I have several people in the audience I know that are. So I was hoping to get them on. If we're not, maybe it's a mistake. I checked with him earlier in the week to make sure he got the information, and he said, yeah, I got it. I'll be there. And then things happen. Who knows? Maybe we got the time wrong. Because I'll get him rescheduled, I hope, because, I know a lot of people be interested in this, making it's not just it's not like he's making jewelry. It's like there's something with I'm not very familiar, so I don't want to talk too much about the tensar theory basically, and he's using copper wire, I believe, to do it, and it's a way that he's like charging it. I don't know. He was and like I said, we had his wife on a month or two ago. I can't remember how long ago. Vivian
awesome.
Chabet. Yeah. So I don't know what happened. It happens sometimes. Is he in the hurricane? I you know what? I have no idea where he lives, so I don't know. I don't think they had that in the bio. But maybe. I don't know. You're going to call. Let me turn the Do Not Disturb on. We're opening up the phone lines.
The hurricane was actually downgraded to a tropical storm earlier, so everything was okay as far as California.
Does it let me edit this while it's live?
Except it's California.
Do you guys know? Does it let you edit this while it's live?
I think so.
It doesn't look so.
I see an edit button at the top.
I do, but then when I go to edit it, it doesn't. It's like nothing's there. Cancel. I'm not going to mess with that. I don't want to screw up the broadcast. I get edited after, because I hate that when I don't have a guest. The rare times I don't have a guest showed up, it's all titled, and then people go to click on the video, and they're like, wait, where's Peter Benson? Well, there's a new COVID variant. I mean, YouTube, right, lifted the restrictions. I can say COVID, right, like Lord Voldemort, right? I can say that? No? Unless I go against the World Health Organization's stipulations, right? Or it's very loose, or anything else, because there's the instance of the World Health Organization saying, what did they say that they would have still struck you for, even if you want to, they were saying, I can't remember what it was. Some about masks, I think, early on, and CDC made a different recommendation. So if you went with the World Health Organization, you can still get flagged because you went against the CDC information. That can still happen.
But now the World Health Organization is going to be the one world authority. They can deem what's a pandemic, what's a crisis, everything health related is going to go through them.
Yeah, and none of those people elected by us, so no, thank you. And I think
Mhm.
that's the general consensus from a lot of people. Is that no thank you. And it's not just our country. There's other countries that are saying no thank you.
It's the whole world. And
Yeah.
they've been amending their literature, interesting, enough, taking out anything that's to do with like human rights and things like that.
So
Yeah.
we got new variants of COVID. We got UFOs. We got
Aliens
Fires
landing in
and
fires.
floods.
wildfires that, melt metal.
What's the new one? No, Canary Islands. I saw that. Did that just pop up? I saw Canary Islands on fire. Was that what is it?
What?
Yeah, another one.
And Europe, it's supposed to be happening in Europe too. The hurricanes of fire, something I was reading.
And they had an earthquake too, I heard, right in LA? They had hurricanes.
We had 5.1
And they had
today.
an
Southern,
it was
British
5.1. I saw like
5.1.
3.5. Wow.
5.1.
Hurricanes and earthquakes.
So, did you see the video of this lightning bolt that looks like a laser that hit the island?
Yeah.
Okay, in 2020, and I have a video of it, and I don't have my foil hat, but I was walking across the street and almost stepped into lightning. A lightning bolt hit the street
Oh my
between the
God.
two houses, and I was like, oh, wow. Said something else, but, stopped and
Yeah.
whatever. But I happened to record it. But the thing with it was, it wasn't like lightning. The minute it happened, I went inside. I'm like, I almost just got hit by lightning, but it was almost like a laser that came down. It felt like it was a controlled, like, not saying they were trying to purposely hit me or anything, but it felt like it was not lightning.
Maybe
And then
God.
I saw pictures of the lightning, and we don't get lightning like that out here. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, look
I
at
saw
Daniel
more
Brinkley. He's been
lightning.
struck twice and died from lightning. Daniel Brinkley, guy, near-death survivor, It's like that.
But-
What is the Great Outdoors? The guy he was getting struck by lightning.
Dude, if you're struck by lightning once, that's one thing. If you're struck by lightning twice, something's happening to you.
But what do you think, Jamie?
That's the year that we had the hellfires.
Yeah.
And they said lightning had started that. And I'm like, no, because this was not real lightning. And we had brush fires out here. It was not real lightning. So when I saw that video hitting Maui, I'm like, no, that's a laser. And it's that same lightning I seen in 2020.
I just feel like there's some Bond villain out there, Like, it's like, yes, I'm going to use my lasers. Silence, kitty. I'm going to use my lasers to burn down forests. Like,
Radio waves.
Where is the earth-shattering kaboom?
I mean, look at some of these guys. Carl Schwab looks like a Bond villain.
Oh, dude.
I mean, does not anybody else see that? He sounds like a Bond villain. He looks like he dresses like a Bond villain.
Big time.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like you can say what you want about Bill Gates, and that's who you can't really go against on YouTube. Sorry, I better not say that's the new
you
Lord
can't say
Voldemort.
that one. That's the bad
Oh,
one.
I said the name aloud.
Cannot
Our
do
new
that.
code word for BG there. Guy with the glasses, stole a bunch of software and then, sued everybody
And
to make
bought
it.
all of our farmland up.
Yeah, buying all our farmland and then,
Spraying
that
us
guy,
with
his new
chemicals.
nickname is Lord Voldemort.
Yes.
But he said he was.
Now that who shall not be named, because he now, it's all what
Controls.
he says goes on here.
He said it saddened him, though, that people thought he would be evil.
It saddened him
Saddened.
as he rolled around in his money.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I'm sure you're so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
People would
So
think I'm
sad. I just got the worst visual too of him rolling around.
But he's
in the
like
room.
he's like the Bond villain in like the bad Bond movie. Like what was it, Tomorrow Never Dies, Who was that actor? He's a good actor, but he was just a horrible Bond villain. He was just so comical. He should have done this. That's how bad it was. That's what he reminds me of. Like Carl Schwab is like that's Blofeld. Definitely. Like I mean, if I were to picture Blofeld in the books, it's Carl Schwab.
You got Soros.
Yeah, and it's I'm hearing all this that he pulled out of Europe, that he's pulling out all of his whatever his spider webs. I don't know, his institutions of chaos out of Europe or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. A bunch of rich people need to like get new hobbies. Please stop screwing around with the earth. You know.
You need to get vaporized. I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
You didn't say that. Well, thou shalt not be named.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, you know, new variant, whatever. I don't care. I'm done. I'm done with all that crap.
Yeah.
Nope.
This next one.
Kiss my butt on that. In other news, Pfizer has a new vaccine they need to sell.
Oh yeah, a new and
New
improved booster they're rolling out.
Yeah, it might be effective against the new variant.
It might be.
Now this video will go to the top. We just plug.
Yeah. We're getting it at multiple angles.
Paid for by Pfizer. No, I didn't get no money. But you know, it's what kind of world are we living in? I mean. Seriously, and I just started seeing the people walking around with more masks lately, and I'm like, oh.
Me too. Like at the grocery store now, I've been seeing it for about 2 weeks now. Just random people here and there starting to wear the black masks.
Or any mask or whatever, or face diapers.
I like the ones with the plastic shields.
I'm waiting for to see that again. I had a guy used to come in my. I'm waiting for this one guy who would always be in my store, and he always wore the plastic shield. He had them for months. But I'm waiting to see the plastic shield come back. Yeah. Yeah,
They
none of
just
that.
took all the plexiglass down too, between all the check stands.
It's crazy. I mean, it's literally crazy. We need the aliens to land. Honestly. It's liven things up. It's not chaotic enough. You know, it's just getting so stupid.
It's the whole Acme bag of tricks, like just dumped on us right now.
Right in time, we're getting ready for elections.
No, it's just going to get worse.
Mail-in ballots, yeah.
It's going to get worse.
They got a corpse to get through. Sorry. This is what happens when guests don't show up. Call in. Save us. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I keep checking my email here. Nothing from them. I sent them an email going, you know, we're live. Did you get the time wrong?
Crickets.
Yeah. I know it's a late night Sunday show. It sucks. I have like the worst time slot in the world. But that's my life, my free time. Hey, if I didn't have to work a 40-hour week job and have kids, well, the kids wouldn't matter. But if I didn't have to work 40-hour week job and I could do this, I'd be on every day. Not every night. I'd have to have a couple days off, but you know. Blackheart is listening. Wait a minute. Hey, Blackheart. One of my squad mates. Great time to tune in when I have no guests. Call in. Lines are open. 219-230-4444, 260-225-9419. Skype ID, oojblandoo or jblandparanormalsoup. Those are ways to call in. I don't know how long we'll go tonight. I just made that whole plug finally for the Scotland show. You know, that we're replaying in Scotland. I probably won't use this for that now. Wow. I probably won't use this for that because I don't have a guest. You know, I'm not going to go 3 hours with no guest. This is like the last. I even avoid taking my car to get his brakes done tomorrow. And one, because of money. But two, I was like, this is my last Monday to really sleep in. Because the kids go back to school this week. Not tomorrow. So, like, I'm enjoying it, and I don't have the money to pay for it. Incoming sideline call. Okay, hold on. Let me see.
My TV just turned itself on.
All right. The Spirit's trying to communicate with Jamie. We're not doing an ITC. Come on, Spirit. We do got somebody on the phone. Who do we got on the line?
This is Adrian from Connecticut. How are you?
Adrian! Save the day. Hey. Thank you for calling in. Save us.
You know, this person who you were supposed to interview, he's into crystals, the power of stones, etc., correct?
Yeah, but it's more than that because he has this tensor energy rings that he does.
Very interesting. I've been working with crystals and other stones for quite a while, and I've had some really cool experiences. Have you heard of the Vogel crystal?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, Marcel Vogel, he's passed on now. I guess he was a scientist. There's a lot of information on him, but he started working with crystals. and there is a specific way to cut a crystal where you have a firing tip, which they would call the male end, and the female tip, which is a little shorter, squattier, which is the receiving end.
Yeah, I have some.
And then
My
it
wife
would
has
have some
crystals
kind
like
of
that.
vortex in the middle. Yeah, that's not pulled off the rock. I mean, these are actually precision cut.
Right.
I guess there's Vogel crystal, and then there's
I guess my
Vogel
wife has mentioned
inspired.
that. Maybe she has, and that's what she's called it. I didn't remember, but I know she has
Okay,
stones
well,
like that.
I got a small one. They're very well. This one was expensive
Yeah.
for a small one. It weighs 2 ounces, but I have studied a lot of the videos he put out, and I decided to try and use it, and I actually healed a cut on my thumb, and everything seems to be a little bit more than 24 hours. And the things you do are very specific. You have to learn how to clear it, program it with intent, etc., and focus and use it. And working on yourself is different than working on somebody else. But I healed this cut in a little over 24 hours. It wouldn't heal up for like weeks. It was stupid. And then I broke my little toe one day. And I know I did because in college I had broken the right one. So, I mean, I know.
You know the
I was
pain.
like, uh-oh, I'm not going to wear shoes for like at least 2 weeks.
Ouch.
Yeah. But instead of running for ice, I went for that crystal, and I followed the video. And by the end of the evening, I was walking almost like 95% pain-free. And the next day, I was kneeling and bending my toes as you squat down to weed, and it was fine. And then another incident I had, and I didn't know if this would work. I have a stray cat I've been taking care of for 4 years, and it was limping. I mean, its front left leg was up in the air. Suddenly something happened to this cat, and it was walking so slow you can tell it was a hurting kitty.
Yeah.
And I can't get a hold of that cat. It's feral, but I feed it, and it lives in my garage. And I went and got my crystal, and I says, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And I did a distant healing on it, and later on my cameras, it was running around fine, with only a slight little favoring of it, and then the next day it was like 100% fine. I thought, wow, it changed its reality or something. Yeah, so I've had some great experiences with the Vogel.
Yeah,
And
I know my wife has stones like that.
Yeah, they're amazing. Now I'm studying. I finally took notes, and I'm studying how to heal other people now. It's done differently.
Hey, how do you spell that?
I had VOGEL.
I think I've heard my wife refer to it. What's that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she knew. I know. I remember back in the day when we were in our 20s, we spent way too much money at a New Age New Age shop where they had a bunch of books and they had a bunch of stones, and she got the stones and I got the books. So she got a ton. She loves her stones.
Yeah, I have quite a few. And then this other one I had gotten, it was about 8 ounces, but I bought it because it had this like a black draping inside of it. It was a clear crystal with this black drape. If you shined a light on it, it was kind of an olive green, but it still looked real creepy, and I like creepy stuff. So I always thought of it as a negative stone. And I sat it near some other crystals on top of a selenite slab I keep on my shelf where people aren't allowed to touch those particular ones.
Yeah.
And I do cleansings for people. So this one young lady came over. She had some attachments, and I did an egg cleansing, which was really amazing. Foot washing and blessing, and then, and another ceremony, and she felt really great. As a matter of fact, some black things came out and was in the tip of the egg. These little black particles, and this is farm eggs from her mother. So this is really weird. And I didn't realize it, but then I went to look at, after she left, this crystal with the black in it, this 8-ounce crystal, was shattered. I took a video of it and talked about it, and it shattered.
Wow.
And some of the black stuff actually went down. What I think happened is that because I always thought of it as a negative crystal, I might have programmed it, and it took in that negative energy.
Oh.
I've never got black stuff in an egg cleansing before.
You have?
I
It
haven't.
looks like little teeny. Yeah. And she said she felt the pulling of them coming out of her, or something pulling. So I'm assuming that's what it was.
Well, I was interested to have this
Yeah,
guest
they-
on because, I mean,
Could be.
we are swimming in a toxic soup of chemicals and radiation and being bombarded like
metals.
humans have never been bombarded before. And it's like we need anything to help raise our vibration and shield us, you know.
Oh, tell me, after it rained, there was this brown film on my glass table, and I took a business card and scraped it because I saw somebody else do it online, and it's actually black.
What state do you live
like
in?
This black dust. Connecticut.
Well, you probably
Yeah.
got some of that stuff still from what is it over in Ohio?
Yeah.
Probably got pushed over
I
your
don't,
way.
I don't know.
So much poison in the
I mean,
damn air.
24/7 all year round, there's these particles in the air, and it's not mist.
Yeah,
Then you got
there's
fires in Canada.
daily too.
I mean, they're reflective with a very high-powered flashlight. You
Yeah.
know, those halogen. Yeah, it's not.
You're not the only
mixed in
one.
the
There's a
air.
lot of people been documenting stuff that's been coming with the rain and coming with just in the air. I mean, lately, it seems like there's been a lot. But I remember back in the days when they'd talk about the chemtrails and find stuff on people's cars and
Well,
houses.
what I can't figure out, y'all, is these aliens. You know, we get abducted. Why don't they suck up all these knuckleheads? Just get them the hell out of here.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
They don't
Planes
want
and
them.
all of them. Right. Yeah, what are
Aliens
you going to do with them?
Aliens came by and they're like, they suck up all the people from the government. Like, thank you, aliens.
Yeah. Hey, it might
Yeah,
have already
can you-
happened here and there.
Yeah. Well, if the Simpsons are predicting
well,
things
that-
like they say, you know, there's that episode where he pulls off the two candidates' masks and they're both aliens. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, well, that about wraps it up for my crystal stories.
Well, thank you.
And, yeah, and we'll catch you on the rebound.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
I know Dan was trying to call in. Recent. There he is.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Dan Hazlitt.
Yeah. I didn't mean to do that. You there, Dan? I'm trying to call you and you're calling me.
Yeah. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for calling in. Saving us here.
Yeah, you guys have been talking about stones, but I want to tell you about this this stone I got. I won't go into the story of how I come by it, but it was this lady that was handcrafting this stuff. But what I got, and once I held it, you know, I kind of felt like it belonged to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I use it every time I meditate. It's a meditation stone.
I used to use stones.
But what it is, it's got like these flecks of different earth metals mixed in. It's like a resin thing. Then on the top, it's got a really thin Metatron, the sacred symmetry in gold. And then on the bottom, it's got like a cog or a gear. I can't remember where she said that she got this, but it was someplace in New York. So these were collected from all over the world and put into one stone. But when I meditate with it and kind of have it between my hands or between my fingers, you can like feel it. I don't know. It kind of like the energy passing through your fingers. And I don't know if you remember Katrina Cooper last week, but
yeah.
I think the item she was talking about was exactly that. It's about,
yeah.
You know,
Do you mean the
$50 size.
Oregon, the Oregon crystals, like the pyramids that have the little is it one of those Oregon crystals?
It's flat. It's about like a $50, but a little thicker size, about a 1/4 inch to maybe a little over a 1/4 inch thick, round.
But it's like a crystal that's had like a bunch of different elements put into it, basically, or
A bunch of metals and flecks of rare earth metals, powders, you know, just and it's really pretty. I'm gonna have to send you a pic of it, but I say I use it when I meditate.
Yeah. I used to use.
Those are really powerful. Those are good.
I used to use tiger's eye, rose quartz, hematite. Those are some of the ones I used in different meditations. Back in the day.
It changed my meditation game a little bit. I'll tell you that.
Well, that's why it's interesting to have this guest on, because he's really into these natural energies or whatever, raising your vibration. So hopefully we get him rescheduled.
But yeah, talking about Katrina Cooper, man, I think everybody that called in can agree that was some pretty amazing stuff.
She always is.
She was on fire.
Right off the bat, she hit it off with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I say I was pretty stunned for hours after that. I couldn't.
Yeah. Well, when
I
people
didn't know
ask,
what to think.
you believe in mediums, or do you know mediums? I always recommend Katrina first.
Yeah, she's pretty spot on.
And does she do past pet readings?
I don't know if she gets into pets so much. The one guy we had for that was Rob Gutro.
Didn't
He's really
she
into
though?
the pet stuff. She probably
Did come
has.
on and talk about that before too.
Probably.
I almost feel like she did.
Yeah, I think she's brought pets out before, maybe, but not so much. Not it's not a big one for her. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Rob Gutro is like somebody we've had on that does that. Reaches out, or communicates with pets on the other side.
He's incredible.
But weirdness has increased since that call, in a good way.
Okay. At least in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah, we don't want it negative.
No, we do not.
But yeah, no, Katrina always blows me away. She blew me away the first time I met her personally. The stuff she knew, there's just no way. There's no way she would know. It was like stuff personal between me and my wife. There's no way. Nobody was in on those conversations, and she knew.
She's called me out of the blue and said things that were extremely personal coming from my dad that there's absolutely no way that she would have known to say that or do that. Nothing I would put. It was just extremely personal and something that nobody would know.
Yeah.
I mean, even when
that was definitely
was calling stuff.
What are you gonna say, Captain? Dan?
But yeah, that was definitely my grandparents for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where she strives at, is like the communication with loved ones and that on the other side. People. She doesn't say she's a psychic. She's really about the communication, like picking up on the
A medium.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's. I think people that are more in the psychic realm of like predicting the future, that's a tougher gig, and because I think the future is always in motion. And what plane of reality you shifting to if you believe the whole quantum thing.
Yeah, she's a psychic medium, so she's channeling the messages and the information to people.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get her on again and for the Halloween show, and hopefully that next time we'll get Rhodey.
Yeah.
For this tradition, to have those two women on for the Halloween show.
I gotta call Rhodey this week.
That'd be cool.
What are you saying, Dan?
Oh, I was just saying that'll be cool.
Yeah. Well, anything else, bud?
No, that's about it.
Oh, thank you for calling in, man.
Yep. Continue the good work, everybody. I'll see you.
All right, have a good night.
See you.
All right, phone lines are open for a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer we're going to go. I don't know if it'll let me title. I am interested. Let me at least change the title of this. It does not while I'm live. I wonder on. Oh, it does on YouTube, not Facebook. That's the deal. Well, that'll work. I'm just editing stuff. I don't know. What else you guys got going on? I missed Weird Wednesday. Did you have anything good for Weird Wednesday?
We talked about, some different stuff. You know, in the news, we talked about the Peru. You know how they're blaming it on
The miners,
the jetpack red
miners.
booted.
Like, what miners are
gold
going to
miners.
invest that much money and craziness?
Well,
to scare some people off.
Yeah, my point was, you know, who. Okay, you know, they're getting gold, but they're making money. They're collecting gold, right? So they can maybe afford some jetpacks and some hoodies and this and that. Who's gonna go put that stuff on and go hover around a village where they're gonna be shooting guns at you?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what they were. I mean, they're like, I saw one video where they have the fire going on. It's not. They got some AK-47s going on.
Yeah.
These people weren't messing around.
And the one guy's like, I shot them and hit them, and they were impervious to bullets.
Yeah, it sounded like the Predator stuff going on too, like cloaking, and it's not just them flying away in jetpacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, what I wonder about that is that their military got involved, but usually what I've heard the story is that these militaries then get a hold of the secret programs, whatever, and they come down there and take care of it. But the way things are in South America and other parts of the world, these countries are sick of USA and our interference. They might not have called us on this one. I don't know. Or they did, and they told them, make up some bullcrap story. We're coming in, and we'll take care of the aliens. I don't know. It sounded like something out of Predator. I mean, the way they described it.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see if there's the gold gangs, if they're trying to scare people off, so they won't get the gold. But no, I don't think they're going to put a jetpack on and go flying in there when they know they could get shot.
And get shot at. Yeah. Like you think the whole attack on the girl and then they'd just leave. That'd be enough to scare them, scare the people, attack some people and leave, not be out there. Come shoot at me in my hover pack. I am an alien.
I'm an alien.
Like
red boots and a hoodie on.
Yeah. Well, I've been waiting to see if any more comes out, if there's still stuff happening or whatever, It's, all the stuff going on in the world now, I feel like we're going to get more of this. That's what I called out months and months and months ago. And then we started getting the Las Vegas thing, and then we got this in Peru. Are they going to be making more prevalence or known? I mean, what happens if they start doing this in an American town, in a city or somewhere?
Yeah.
Why is it South America? Could they do that here? That's what I felt like. The Las Vegas thing's, I don't know. I don't know if that's real. I don't know. But could that
what's
happen
weird
here?
about it is it's, it happened and, well, it's a big deal. And then whoosh, nothing. You don't hear about it anymore.
Well, there's supposedly a documentary from Netflix, right? The kid said this, and that's where his credibility starts to go downhill. He's changed the story several times, and now he's talking about a documentary. It's like, okay, what are we up to?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, none of the response would never added up to me. Is the response of the police, the way it was handled, the security camera that was put in there, and the later tracked, the state police didn't put it in. It was actually put in from Homeland Security. It's just that response is somewhat bit odd.
Yeah.
The whole way it was dealt with is the really interesting part. Besides that, the supposed video footage. But the problem is this kid changed the story. That Doug Papa guy is like, I don't believe it. It's all hoax, because the kid kept changing the story, and he never provided Doug Papa the full video clip. He provided him a very short one that hardly could see anything in. And then Doug Papa won't look at any other videos out there because he's like, that's not what was provided to me. That's not evidence. But I don't know. Maybe this kid stopped trusting him, and then that's all they gave him. I don't know. I don't think that video we see is video manipulated. When people go back number of episodes ago, and I have it in the shorts. I have it in my video shorts about the aliens we're seeing in the Las Vegas backyard and our analysis of the video. And you see silhouetted aliens in that, in that truck. I mean, it's something going on there. I mean, is that shenanigans? Did they get some CGI stuff going on? This family, it doesn't seem like the type.
Yeah.
And the reactions to the people, I mean, it seemed real when the cops show up in the body cam footage. And the cops seem spooked. What cops? This is the other thing. The reactions, the cops walking up to cars going, man, did you see anything in the sky? Cops, they don't do that.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about, they would say we can't talk about what's going on over there. It's current investigation. Something got these guys totally out of their mindset.
See it again. Don't
training.
call us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, they rebacked on, once it was found out it was from home security, then the state police are like, oh, no, we put cameras in private residences when we feel like there could be a threat. It's like, oh, can I get a camera too?
Yeah. From
the government? That doesn't explain it. So the whole response to the thing was just really, really odd. That's what, I honestly, the footage of it coming down out of the sky, it looks like a meteor. That seems like a meteor, and it seems like it could have not even been near where the incident happened.
Yeah.
But maybe these things were connected to it somehow. I mean, I don't know. There's actually no ship that's ever really seen. I mean, the circle in the ground was debunked.
Yeah.
Through Google Images.
As being old, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's holes in the story.
I think
the
it's
whole Netflix
a
documentary. But the footage in the backyard is what gets me. That's the thing. There's something about it. Like, and the reactions of the body cam, the way the officer, like, there was something there. I think this kid is just going along and like, I got a documentary, like he saw something, experienced something, but his brain has no idea how to comprehend what he had witnessed or saw. So he's just going to go with whatever he wants to think it is, and he'll make it up as much as the Netflix documentary wants him to.
Yeah.
He's 16. God knows. But I feel like something happened there. I don't know. That is a weird one. What I'm waiting for is
a
another
lot
one.
for money.
Yeah. Well, what I'm waiting for is another one. Because this is a phenomenon. Aliens are back. Aliens are here. They're going to start showing up like in signs. Get your glasses of water. Leave them all over the place. That's the joke in my writing house. So we leave glasses of water everywhere. Oh, it's for the aliens. Sorry, spoiler if you have never seen Signs.
The government probably realizes now too they don't have to do this huge elaborate like hologram thing to trick people, because people believe pretty much anything now. They can just throw some drones up there and
I don't know. I mean, some people are very just skeptical and some people are very much believable. I don't know. I think if they were to pull off a fake alien invasion, they would be doing some hologram stuff, or they'll just be flying some of the stuff they've reverse engineered. It's a fake alien invasion, but there are aliens. They're just using it to their advantage, and maybe. I don't know. I've never known what to believe on that.
Yeah.
I feel what's going on. This is my personal opinion, what's been going on with disclosure, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, is that there are elements within our government that are totally in knowledge of the alien reverse engineering program, and it's been within families for generations that have controlled it through not our government, but through corporations like Raytheon and Boeing and these military industrial complex companies. Lockheed, yep. And their family members and people who've stayed tight-knit on this and control it through these different corporations, out of the eyes of Congress and the purview of any senator or anybody within the government, military even.
Yeah.
It's generals that have no idea about this stuff. But they know how they have the right connections to keep things where they need, and it's outside. And then you have an element with what people call the deep state, the bureaucracy, of people who just make a dime off of doing what corporations tell them to and what evil entities tell them to do, and basically work within the government or go work for a corporation, then work in the government, then go back work for a corporation. And this is in all of our regulatory agencies, FDA, EPA, CDC, and NIH, all these different parts of our government. They're all deeply invested in it. But one of the things is there's also people within that deep state, what do you want to call it?
Or the cabal, deep state.
Cabal, whatever, that their primary objective within the government to make money is to sell state secrets.
Yeah.
And what is the biggest state secret? UFOs, reverse engineering. By helping individuals who are honest in the government that want to reveal our knowledge of UFOs and aliens and our interactions with them, like David Gersh and them Ryan Graves, these people, I'm not saying they are part of it. I'm saying that they are used as a vessel to push these agencies out into the
100%.
light, because then we don't get access to the information, but it gets pushed out enough in the light that a senator or congressman now gets the files on it and the locations of the bases, and they start getting information, and then they can sell it to China or Russia or wherever.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a Secretary of State that's named after a hurricane right now you could think of, who had a whole email servers that China, admittedly by the FBI, hacked. Was that an accident? I'm just saying there are people that get up and lie in front of you from our government all the time. They're complete traitors. And it doesn't matter Democrat or Republican. None of that matters. None of that ever matters because this is it's a deep, dark game they're playing. And they're basically selling state secrets.
Yep.
And that's the thing. And when it comes to the UFO thing, it's not within the DOD or, it's not in, I think there is stuff. I think that within our government that could be tracked, but it's within the bases. Like, I believe there's the Hangar 18 thing going on, Wright-Patterson. If there's anywhere, everybody says Area 51, Wright-Patterson, somewhere in the depths of that base is UFOs and recovery, because that's where it went. And it's hard to move this stuff around, probably. And I don't think they would have moved all of it. I think a lot of it would be there. One guest, Paul Blake Smith, we've had him on as he's done a lot of research on the Cape Girardeau crash from 1941, and talked about Eisenhower and his interactions with UFOs, and that talked about that. There's also under the Capitol building a room, a place where they've kept this stuff too, a secret room.
Yep.
We would kept it close to home back in the early 40s. We would have kept it somewhere in Washington, D.C. And then later in Wright-Patterson, when we got into the, to a bigger military base, this stuff is buried somewhere within the government realm to be able to find it and reveal it. But the important stuff, the stuff they really want to know, is what would be done with it, and that's all been scurried out to these military industrial complex agencies that are basically ruining the world.
Yeah.
What do you got in there?
That's my favorite meme lately.
Let me hold. I told you so. Yep. Bob Lazar, I told you so. I would listen to those Art Bell interviews with Bob Lazar, and I always felt that he was telling the truth.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of critics, and some people I love that have criticized him, over the years.
Yeah.
Big time.
But like Stanton Friedman, who I met, never had on the show, wish I would have before he passed, was a critic, Bob Lazar. Did not believe his story. Basically counted him off, or wrote him off when the records showed that where they couldn't find records that of his education or working at Los Alamos. But according to Bob, that was all whitewashed by the government.
Yeah. There's no records of him. But there's pictures of him.
Well, one thing that George Knapp
newspapers
found, George Knapp, is that he found the Los Alamos phone book from that period of time that he was working there, and there's Bob Lazar's name in the department that worked there.
Yep.
So even though they say they never worked there, it's like they erased it, but they didn't erase the phone books.
He never worked here, but mysteriously we just added his name to the phone book.
But that wasn't good enough for Stanton Friedman, and I love Stanton Friedman. Don't get me wrong. I just think. It was the 80s, 90s, Art Bell, and there's a lot of guests that I hate to say he had on that were total bullcrap, but I don't think Bob Lazar was one of them. I always thought he was right. And maybe later scenes he was, I love the Jeremy Corbell documentary, except for the voiceover. This is the worst part. Sorry, Jeremy. Sorry, Jeremy. I'd love to get Jeremy Corbell on. If he ever hears this, he'd be like, no, I ain't coming on your show. He wouldn't come on my show anyways, but I like him. I like his documentaries. Otherwise, Skinwalker Ranch is another good one, but the voiceover and that's awful. But otherwise, the documentary is good because it really covers the stuff like that. Bob called out that he had to have this security thing to go through where it scanned the bones in his hand and matched it, and nobody knew that or talked about that or had any idea about that. But many years later, it was shown this was an actual real thing to get in security clearances of places.
Yep.
Just as he described. And then there's the John Lear connection to Bob Lazar that did always make me a bit uncomfortable. I'm not knocking on John Lear. I always loved the John Lear interviews. I got to talk to him. I like John Lear. But John Lear was all over the place.
Yeah.
And Bob Lazar and him were friends before his job at Area 51. And it felt like that they had a setup going. I don't know if this is ever. I just feel like listen to the interviews of John Lear, listen to the interviews of Bob Lazar from back in the 90s and that, and it just feels like those two were like, "Hey, you go get a job," and this was almost what John Lear says, but you go get a job at Area 51. You could do it. You work at Los Alamos, and you knew Putoff. I think it was Hal Putoff. No, it wasn't Hal Putoff. Who was it that he knew? Somebody that he had a connection to that he said could get him into Area 51. Basically a big name. I can't remember if it was Hal Putoff or somebody else. But anyways, like they did it, like get a job, see if you can get anything. You know, he gets in there, he gets an SR9 and gets all the info, and then gives it to John Lear. Of course, he did. He did give it to John Lear, and they took him out to see the UFOs. Like they planned all this. Like, let's see if we can take somebody that's just close enough that could maybe get a job there. It's like that's the part I feel like that Bob Lazar's never said out loud.
Could be, and then he got there and was like,
holy crap, it's real.
I wasn't expecting this.
But did they do that, like knowing John Lear, like they were watching John Lear and watching Bob Lazar and saw this and let him come in and see some fake stuff and then let him go out and squeal all of it, and then our enemies are like, oh my God, the USA has UFOs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why does my camera get black?
I know, your camera like wants to blur you out like it's got beer goggles on. You look like a hot date.
Yeah.
All right. Who they got on the line?
It's Zariana, Jason. How are you
Zariana.
tonight?
Doing good. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, following Adrian. Or Dan, I should say.
Yeah.
Here's the last one. Yeah. I have, I don't know if it pertains to anything, but I've been having some weird experiences the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I've been getting up about 4:30 and 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5:30, whatever, and I hear all the coyotes in my area.
Yeah.
And I mean, they make a racket, you know. I didn't realize how loud they are, you know. Or it could be foxes, you know.
Yeah.
But in between the duration when I hear them, I hear metal banging, I hear trees like, banging, like someone banging on trees. I hear this noise. I can't even...
Are you in a forest area or like a...
Yeah, there's a wooded area.
Yeah.
A couple of wooded areas. And I can't describe it. It's not a deer. It's not an, you know, elk. It's not, you know. And I don't know. It's just, you know, it just makes me wonder, you know, it sounds quite scary. You know, it's not a Fisher cat. I've heard Fisher cats, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're creepy, but they have a distinct sound, you know. So I don't know at this point. You know, I've been trying to figure out. I've been trying to record it and trying to figure out exactly what it might be, because I don't think that. I mean, every part of the country has a Bigfoot kind of creature by different names, you know, in different areas. But I don't really know if there's one that my state has, you know, or
it's
if
possible.
it could be, something else, you know.
But the tree knocking, that's the first thing that comes to my mind when you mentioned the tree knocking, is related to Bigfoot. But then I was trying to debunk it, maybe because I've, you know, watched some of the shows and stuff, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I'm also trying, I don't know. I was trying to do research on Pukwudgies. I don't know if anyone... Yeah, it's
I don't know if
Irish
anyone
mythology.
knows.
Lord.
Irish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think we've talked a little bit about it. Well, maybe it isn't. Maybe Pukwudgies. Maybe no. Pukwudgies. I know. Is that Irish? I think it is. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Like a banshee is Irish, right?
Yeah.
Pukwudgie. I don't know.
Pukwudgies. Hold on. Jamie, you looking it up? No. I don't remember how to spell it. Pukwudgies.
Found in Delaware. What do you want to know about it?
Which mythology is that? Or folklore?
Yeah.
Pukwudgie is a human-like creature of Wampanoag folklore. Delaware, huh?
Yeah.
Found in Delaware and Prince Edward Island. Said to be 2 to 3 feet tall. Little people mythology.
And they can transform.
Oh, okay.
Animals.
Could it be considered a shapeshifter?
Yeah, it can. It says it can transform into animals and use their mischievous ways for their own good.
Yeah, can disappear, shape-shift at will. Looks like a porcupine with a back and a half troll. And I've seen a lot of these like troll, like gnome videos that are probably fake, but I've seen a lot of those. There's a lot of TikTok stuff. Not on TikTok, but I see it pop up in other forms.
Right. Yeah.
Native Americans believed in Pukwudgies were once friendly to humans, but then turned against them and are best left alone.
Yeah, that's my. Yeah, I
So it's more a Native American thing.
Isn't there
That's
something
what
actually called a tree knocker also?
Tree knockers? Tommy
Yeah.
knockers?
I thought there's like a tree knocker.
Well, it's Tommy knockers. That's the mines, I think, or something like that. I don't know. And Stephen King novel about a writer doing lots of cocaine.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's I don't know. Figured I'd just put it out there because I don't know exactly what I'm hearing, and I can't, like I said, I'm trying to record it, but it's definitely not anything that, it really kind of is scary. So.
Well, we're gonna go to our commercial break. Come back for a little bit. I don't know if we'll go to the full hour, but we'll come back. We're gonna go to commercial break. Thank you so much for calling in, Zurion.
Thank you, and everybody have a blessed evening.
You too.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right. Yep, we're going to go to commercial break. We'll be back. We'll go a little bit longer, see if we get any more phone calls. I'm going to have the phone lines down while we're during commercial break. So if you're going to call in, just call in after we come back from commercial break when I say the phone lines are open. Call in, join this conversation. Our guest tonight, if you're joining us now late, Peter Benson did not show up. I have not checked my email again to find out if he ever responded. That's a no. I don't know what happened. Hopefully we can reschedule. Yeah, hopefully we can reschedule. Otherwise, it's open lines now. You know that I can't change the title while we're live. It says Peter Benson didn't show, but we'll take your phone calls tonight, talk about whatever when we come back from the short commercial break.
Conducting an experiment into the combined effects of sensory deprivation and hallucinatory drugs. The subject of the experiment is himself, and the experiment is out of control. Ken Russell's Altered States, a film that must not be missed, is in the West End now. Altered States, Certificate X.
Do you wish for more paranormal and spiritual content? The Paranormal Chronicles magazine is a free digital magazine crammed with the very best in paranormal and spiritual articles and features. No sign-up, no subscription, just free reading and knowledge for you. Read today at www.paranormalchronicles.com/magazine.
Join us every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for Weird Wednesday, the live stream, with your hosts Jamie, the Living Dead Girl, and Rob, the Phantom, where we'll talk about all things paranormal, including zodiac, astrology, tarot card and oracle card readings, live ghost boxing and spirit communication, where we'll do Voices from Beyond, the Cold Case Files. So we hope you join us live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Paranation Magazine is a new paranormal magazine based out of Denver, Colorado. Our goal isn't just to give you the best paranormal content out there, but to promote paranormal unity. We're doing this by giving everyone an opportunity to tell their stories and to share their experiences. For more information, follow us on Facebook at Paranation Magazine and soon, paranationmag.com.
I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like is the extraordinary travels of a young, alone, and broke psychic in the highly anticipated new book from internationally renowned psychic, medium, medical intuitive, and best-selling author Sherry Dillard. Critics have described I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like as an engrossing memoir, an empowering story of how a broken girl came to accept her psychic gift, a refreshing and fun read. I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like is available through Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, and wherever books are sold.
Wrote Spirits of the Dead with a pen dipped in warm blood. You will see the ultimate in terror with this important all-star cast. Brigitte Bardot, Alain Delon, Jane Fonda, Terence Stamp, and Peter Fonda in Edgar Allan Poe's Spirits of the Dead. Only Poe's demented genius could bring to the screen such horror and evil. Spirits of the Dead stars Brigitte Bardot, Alain Delon, Jane Fonda, Terence Stamp, and Peter Fonda. Directed by three masters of the cinema, Federico Fellini, Louis Malle, and Roger Vadim. Spirits of the Dead is an adventure in terror beyond your wildest nightmares. Spirits of the Dead in color is rated R.
Heat 'em up. Do, re, Egon.
You're listening to Paranormal Soup, bringing you the weird every Sunday night. Call into the show and join the discussion. The call-in lines are 219-230-4444 or 260-225-9419 or by Skype caller ID oojblandoo or jblandparanormalsoup. And now to your host, Jason Bland.
Tonight's guest did not show, Peter Benson. We tried figuring out what's going on, never got a reply, maybe overslept. It happens sometimes. It's all right, we're just doing open lines, probably go on for another half hour or so, maybe an hour, we'll see. Anybody want to call in? The lines are now open. Join the conversation. Let's go ahead and get right back on into it. All right. Well, we're back. Like I said, if you're just joining us, our guest didn't show, so we're kind of just doing open lines, talking for a little bit longer. I mean, I get to sleep in tomorrow, but it's hard to keep going when you had a plan of having a guest.
I know, it's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll hopefully get them rescheduled. Trying to think to talk about that we don't get banned on YouTube for. Right?
Did you open the call lines again?
Yeah, they are open. You can call in. I said we'd probably go about another half hour, see what we get. If anybody wants to call in, join the conversation. What do you want to talk about?
There's
You want
just
to talk about Lord Voldemort?
So much crazy stuff going on that it's hard to think of it. It's overwhelming. It's too much information.
I think that's the point. You know, and mainly it's fear. They overwhelm us with fear. What doomsday thing do we need to think of or fear about now? You know, distract us. You know, so people are like, rule me harder.
Exactly.
Seriously, your first reaction should be like F off,
Mm-hmm.
not rule me harder. That's either you're an F off to the government person, me, these two, or you are a rule me harder, save me, daddy person. Don't be that person.
Some
Just
people honestly need to be told what to do and what to think.
I don't know why people trust the main narrative, mainstream media or government. There's a track record. We have a growing list, decades and decades long of lies.
I have a
You
friend
should question everything.
I mentioned something, questioned something, and she was like, Rob, really, do you really think that our government is out to hurt us? I was like, oh, do you really want me to answer that truthfully?
Right? What I've always said, when you say government, there's lots of people, even within the CIA, that join our patriots, that want to do good, that want to work and be civil servants. There's a ton of thousands of people. Those are all the little guys.
Yeah.
Within our government system.
It's the main people controlling and running things.
And I really believe it's these really rich families and corporations. So I hate saying it's the United States government. The United States government's been co-opted a long time ago. That's why Eisenhower's speech is so famous, because he tried warning us of this.
Yep.
He's not my favorite president of all time. He made a lot of mistakes. But I honor Eisenhower because at least he tried to own up to it and tried to warn us. And I honestly think John F. Kennedy tried to turn the tides of that, and we saw how that ended. And we've never stopped.
Yeah.
It's just gone downhill ever since. I mean, what point do we just say, maybe it's not a good idea to fund terrorists, to overthrow some democratic elected country's government, because we've done that numerous times.
There's a reason you don't negotiate
Iran,
with terrorists.
Guatemala. I mean, we can go on.
Yeah.
There's a good reason for other countries to hate us now.
And not trust us.
There's a reason John F. Kennedy had the Peace Corps. He wanted to not have people think of us as our soldiers coming into our country, but people who want to help you get clean water and get you out of the hole, to work and help and build you so you can do on your own. That was his original intent. And then the CIA co-opted Peace Corps and so on. USAID, they co-opted that. It's like, can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, I mean, just Kennedy, for instance, how long ago was that? And, they still won't release. Well, they say they've released.
They won't. No.
No, they're not.
They're not. By law, they should have a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Trump didn't.
Yep.
He had the opportunity to. Biden didn't. He had the opportunity to. Why? What are we protecting? All those people are dead that were involved.
It's still.
But it's their family members, because their family members are still.
Yeah.
Because these things get passed down the family, right?
It's still proves
Every single president we've ever have had family in politics. They've been bred into politics, I think, except for Trump. And that's probably why he's a threat also, because he's like not part of them.
He's the Cartman. I do what I want. I do what I want. Don't like him though.
But that's
that's
like
the only part I liked, is that
Sure.
he's not a part of that system. He's just the bull in the china shop you throw in and breaks everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Our own government is its own secret society, though, if you think about it.
No,
it's all been co-opted. It's all being co-opted by different forces. It's like everybody says they and the government or the secret government, all that. It's a lot of little secret governments. It's a lot of little different co-ops
The
going on,
banks,
and different special
Rockwell,
interests.
Vanguard,
BlackRock, State Street. Yeah.
The Royals.
Yeah, there's a lot of different vested interests that have their own different interests that
And then we
war
have the
against each
elites
other.
like Oprah, Bill Gates, probably Elon.
Those who shall not be named.
Exactly.
Thou shalt not be Voldemort.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. But I mean, but none of these people are elected by us. That's the problem.
No.
That's what we are founded
They
off
have
of.
money.
Yeah.
So they get to mess with our one sun that we all share. They get to mess with our Earth because they've got the money. They can just experiment on us as they want because they've got the money.
I mean, I saw an interview with Carl Schwab saying, one day we won't even have to have elections because we can just predict who the people want with AI.
Oh, brother.
Bond villain. Like I should make a Bond villain reel of Carl Schwab. Like
For
all his
real.
Bond villain statement moments. Like
You really
Bond
should,
villain.
a compilation of it.
And just every time he makes a Bond villain moment, just throw up Austin Powers, Dr. Evil going, like seriously, how does not anybody see this? He is a Bond villain. This is the guy you want to literally has his hands in everything. It's not just him. Again, it's not one evil entity. It's a multitude of people with greed and power and lust, and screw you, little people.
Yep.
And that's why, it's what's so sad is that, they use the climate change agenda to basically offset corporations who use taxpayers' money for subsidies to deal with their pollution. They don't have to pay for it. We do. Yeah. In different ways, like carbon offsetting, the carbon pipelines are a real bunch of crap. They do all this in the name of climate change, but they're actually doing worse for the climate.
They're
They
actually
use it
creating
to blame you. To blame you. It's not us, the big corporations. It's you, the little guy, with your oven. Oh, you can't gas ovens? Dear God,
your
you can't have that.
Farts and your brick.
Your
pizza
cow
oven.
farts and you're driving your cars while I ride in my jet, okay? I get there quicker than you, even though my plane in one flight burns more than your car will ever do in its pollution. But I'm going to jet around because I need to save the world from climate change. The thing is, there is pollution. I don't know, I think climate change is cyclical. That is more of a bigger picture we don't see. But I do think we are polluting the hell out of our planet. We are killing our oceans. We're killing our lakes. We're killing our rivers. We're killing our forests. We're burning them down. I'm sorry. Some of this is, I don't think is accidental.
No,
we're doing
it's
all
not.
these, we're doing horrible things. I am for the environment. I think we need to be right on top of cleaning this up and holding the number one people responsible are these big corporations, not us, not the little guys. Don't tell me to get rid of my frickin' stove or tell me I can't drive my car to work to pay for my frickin' bills.
Climate
Screw you.
change is real. It's just
Yeah.
not the crisis they want to make it out to be. It's happened billions of years before us.
It's misdirection.
It's billions of years after us. We
Yeah.
can't stop or control it.
It's misdirection. It's climate change because of you and your cows and all the ways you want to live. And there's too many people. Too many people. It's climate change. No, what it is it's big corporations that get all these subsidies from the government, pollute all the hell they want because they've basically taken over the EPAs of their countries and ours, and get to do whatever the hell they want because you're too distracted, crying about cow farts. And
Literally
blaming
putting
little people.
diapers on cows. That was insane.
No, dear God. We do have a problem. We are polluting the hell out of our planet. We are doing horrible, horrible, horrible things to our planet. We do need to wake up and stop. There is a crisis. There is. We have major corporations polluting this planet majorly.
Stop eating the beef and eat the bugs.
Our soil and our water is so contaminated. There's so much heavy metals and everything that I don't think it could ever even get cleaned out.
Yeah, there's, people that understand with growing and agriculture, there's this microbiome of your soil that's precious. And pesticides and all the crap that the big corporations do destroy that. Natural farmers that know what the hell they've been doing don't. It's sad. It's all because all the agencies that are supposed to be stopping this, regulating it, are controlled by the people they're supposed to regulate.
George Carlin, man, nailed it way back in the 80s. It's one big club, and you and I,
George
we
Carlin.
ain't in
I
it.
wish he was around.
I know.
God, I wish George Carlin was around to make comments on all this stuff.
You and I, we ain't in it.
We ain't it. Yep. There's no one person that's going to save us from this. It's got to be a movement. It's got to be a movement of people saying, "I've had it."
And people are starting to get pissed.
About
Yeah,
time.
here. Oh, Gary, you'll own nothing. Here, hold on. You own nothing, live in your pods, and eat the bugs and be happy. Yeah, that's basically what they want. You know what? I swear, when I was a kid, I was trying to think of my own dystopian nightmare sci-fi novel because I read all these sci-fi novels. My idea of the future was people stuck in these pods, had no hair, and everybody was living in a virtual reality because their everyday lives, were basically drones and doing nothing and living in horrible cubes and pods, and everybody's,
Did you see that animation I put up a few months back? I got it from my mom, and it's basically that they show you exactly like if we were to, instead of FEMA camps, we're in like these apartment buildings, and you're like by yourself inside. They have cameras watching you. You get your government, your monthly allowance of money enough to pay for like the garbage disposal of the drone to come take it away, and you might have like a few coins left over, but you don't have enough to pay for anything like extra besides your food and this and that, which are little like portions,
Yeah.
And then if you don't spend the rest of the money, it expires at the end of the month, so you can never
That's
save.
already happening.
Exactly that. What you're saying right now is exactly the way they're
doing that in China. They're doing it in other countries.
We're headed fast.
Yeah, they want to do a digital currency and basically do that too. You will own nothing. Your money expires. Yeah.
And they can control if your social score is low enough. You don't get to have your money this month to go shopping.
You don't get to spend it here. No. Yeah. Oh no. They're already pushing for that. And I'm not talking about Bitcoin here. I'm talking about government controlled
your
digital
money,
currency.
Taking away money.
Bitcoin was different. It was trying to free you from control. And while this is like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let's use it to control. That's how it turns out. They take something good and twist it and make it evil.
Exactly.
You know the name, you're just a number.
Yeah. Your children are children of the state. That's where people will draw the line. It's going to come down to our children.
And you see the way they're putting all the puzzle pieces in place for those things to start separating and breaking off and indoctrinating in the way that they're playing right out of the handbook.
Yeah. Yeah. Which handbook though? Vent 201. You heard of that? 2019. There they are talking about a global pandemic and all this stuff that they like. Go watch that. Yeah, and then you got Agenda 2030. All this like depopulate. I think I mean, how many more videos from these world leaders do you need to see them talking about depopulation to get the point of what they're trying to do?
Yeah. I mean,
how many more? I mean, it's not just one. It's not just Carl Schwab or thou who shall not be named. Yeah, there's a ton of them.
Well, admitted right to life from the Declaration of Independence. That was not an accident.
Yeah. It's not a conspiracy theory. They're telling you. People just aren't listening.
You just have to pay attention and accept it. You have to actually accept it that this is a reality.
Have you ever seen that Black Mirror episode, 1 Million Merits or 15 Million Merits? Go watch that. That's a bunch of people trapped in cubes being forced to watch advertisements.
Exactly.
It's literally forced. They can't close their eyes. It detects it. Yeah. They have to watch advertisements, and then their days spent riding a bicycle to generate electricity. To earn merits or credits.
Oh my goodness. I could totally see that too.
It's such a depressing episode. If you're in a bad state, don't watch it. Because I was when I watched
these electric cars on us. We can't, our grid can't even run these electric cars that they're trying to charge up. So
It'd be great to have.
Us probably bike our own energy pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's one. I mean, it'd be great to have cars that don't spit out carbon and pollute. But the problem is, the electric car industry is worse. Okay, it's not. You're not doing anything better for the environment because the mining for the cobalt, for the batteries, the children mining it. Yeah, that's just god awful. Go look it up.
All of our pollution going to China.
And then they're powered by coal power plants, anyways, most of the time. You're not doing anything. It's all malarkey. It's crap. It's not saving the environment. It's not doing anything. I want cars that don't have to run off of gasoline and truly are good for the environment. That's ain't it. We're not there.
And have the choice whether you want one or not.
One or not, yeah. No government subsidy, no government force. It's got to be a market-driven deal.
100%.
I'm a free market guy.
Well, we've already had cars that could run on water and all that, but those
Then
they got
the guy's like, I've been poisoned.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
restaurant. That's a famous one. Look that one up. I can't think of the guy's name, but
exactly.
Yeah, literally. That's the thing. You have that's what I talk about. Like everybody says they or them, like it's one big secret society.
I say they because it's like so many.
But it's the way you do it,
things
right?
that-
But there's different factors. You have the oil conglomerates, which are separate, different entities within that. You have the Saudis. You have the American oil industry. You have the oil industry itself controlling the EPA. So they get to pollute environment and then offset their carbon by making some windmills and solar farms. And the windmills out in the ocean are great. Yeah, they're dumping oil and killing whales.
These wind farms.
Yeah, I want non-coal powered energy. I'm not so trusting of nuclear power plants. I think nuclear energy could be great, but the problem is I don't trust, again, the EPA and the people that are supposed to be regulating these corporations that build a nuclear power plant. They're going to do the right job, and we don't end up with a Chernobyl. I would love to have nuclear power plants, but you need to make sure we get the corporations that are out of the regulatory people on them. Okay, that's my problem. I don't trust that. That's you look at what happened in Japan now. They were not doing their job regulating that power plant. So and I know solar's got big issues, wind's got big issues. Like we need to come up let's get rid of the government corporate BS and malarkey and actually look for real solutions for better energy in this world. But dear God, that can't happen.
Yeah.
I think the oil industry keeps it they're like, oh, here, we're going to help fund a windmill farm and some solar farms, but we don't want it to be successful.
Yeah.
Because we got to make sure our industry stays in check and keeps coming. A lot of people are saying, drill, baby, drill in America. I do think we need to produce our own energy and drill here. If we're going to do oil, I think we'll do it a lot better than they'll do in other countries. But at the same time, again, I know how bad the EPA has been compromised by big oil. If you get somebody in like Trump or whatever is like, okay, get rid of the regulations, drill, baby, drill, I worry for the environment. I'm sorry. It's just the reality of it.
Obviously,
fracking.
Fracking is horrible. Like, for
Right.
real. It's
Drill,
really
baby, drill.
scary.
Slow down. I think we should do energy production in this country. I think we should drill in this country, but not until we clean up the EPA. Not until we can actually say, okay, what are you drilling? What is the impact of how you're drilling? What's the impact of your pipeline? Let's have a true analysis. Without the corporate, big oil. You go stand in the corner and shut the F up. Make a law. Your lobbyists can't touch anybody in EPA. Nobody working in EPA could ever work for big oil. Those things change. Then I'd be like, let's drill. We actually had some true regulation. We're going to need to. We are going to need to drill. We are going to need oil.
We have to just break it all back to the ground, like public schools, everything, and restructure all of it.
Yeah. They talk about the Great Reset. We do need a Great Reset. But not the one they're trying for.
Yeah.
I mean, we really need to go through and clean out every regulatory agency. Every the FBI, the CIA need to be cleaned out.
Yeah.
The plannings division of the CIA needs to be eliminated. This is a division of the CIA that goes into countries and overthrows their leaders and assassinates people.
Yeah.
Or fund people and create organizations like ISIS. They need to go. That has to be obliterated. Like as John F. Kennedy said, scatter the CIA to the four corners of the earth, or scatter and whatever, destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do that.
We
need
need
intelligence.
All of this apart. All of these machines have to be taken apart.
Yeah. I mean, we need to be of intelligence on our enemies. And that's why I think a lot of patriotic people are in the CIA that are trying to get intelligence on other countries, look for threats. But it's a planning division that goes in and does stuff that goes against the very principles of this country. And I have a long history behind me to back that up. Verified, not conspiracy theory. Okay, not history. And how do people? Victoria Nuland is like the darling now of this Biden administration. Like literally, her and the rest of her neocons literally got us into Iraq under the false pretenses of weapons of mass destruction. We all now know is bullcrap. That Saddam Hussein had something to do with anthrax attacks on our country, which was bullcrap. That Saddam Hussein Saddam Hussein is an awful person. There's a lot of awful people. If we were to go around the world, we'd be doing it forever, which I guess is what they want, of awful people to get out of seats of power. But the problem is we get people out of seats of power that aren't so awful, that were democratically elected. The only reason we went after Saddam Hussein is we want a foothold in the Middle East. And now we've left Iraq worse than it was. Here we are. And we wonder, we've talked on the show about all the ancient artifacts in Iran that might prove ancient alien interaction with us here that were probably taken during that whole episode. And we lost how many trillions of dollars on that? And then Afghanistan, we lost trillions of dollars on that. How's it all working out for us? The Taliban came in and destroyed the opium production. We got to invade Afghanistan because the CIA and them run a secret drug business, didn't you know?
We're so getting kicked off YouTube.
Whatever.
Exactly. I don't even care anymore.
I know.
Well, either they will or we're going to get knocked out by the internet apocalypse.
That might be a good thing for humanity at some point. Huh?
Yeah, it might. Seriously.
I saw the video. There's a video that's been circulating around a guy. It looks like he's Amish. He's not, but he's like totally living off the grid.
No, they're awesome.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't remember the name, but I mean, I saw it. This is recent, and I was like, that guy's living it, man. He's looking for a girlfriend. If I hope he gets one. Lives his life. That's all he needs is just a girlfriend. Poor guy out there. But the thing is, he's living his life free, completely off the grid. Nobody tells him what to do
until they come take him.
Until they come take his land for living off the grid, which has happened.
Yeah.
All they have to do is deem it polluted or.
I mean, look what they're doing. I'm in Indiana, and they're doing eminent domain in Indiana to take people's cornfields. Legitimate farm, not from big corporations' cornfields. No, no, from the last of the bastion of actual, small farmers, taking their cornfields so they can put in solar panels within eminent domain. Well, it's for public cause, right? Eminent domain, I am always been against. It's so abused in this country. In so many places, it's abused. They're abusing it in Iowa with the pipeline, the carbon crap pipeline they're doing there. It's going to be extremely poisonous. They're going to basically take acid poison and shove it into the earth to try to expel what last gasoline they can out of some pit. Or oil, I mean, not gasoline. But that's our EPA at work.
How'd it work out for the Indians way back,
Yeah, still not working out for them.
Exactly.
They're still putting pipelines through Native American land. I mean, Jesus. We have a government that does not work for us anymore. They work for corporations.
No. Yep.
It's a corporatocracy. I've preached enough. See, this is what happens when I don't get a guess. I start going, you people!
Yep.
You corporations! We got to talk about the paranormal. I am so sorry. This is what happens. We get in a late night with no plan. I start get my Festivus pull out and start airing my grievances.
Festivus.
I just hope all the stuff in the media about the new variant, whatever, is just Pfizer's plan to try to get the sheeple to go get more boosters. And that's it. And then they're not going to try to lock us all down and do all that crap again that I'm hearing.
It's probably coming.
Resist.
We are, though, unfortunately.
We will need to
People
resist.
who work for the airlines are already talking about them getting secret word about...
And Border Patrol.
Mm.
I was about ready to end the show, and then we get a call. All right, we'll see you. One more call here. Who do we got on the line?
Hey, this is Drake again. Just calling on air, I guess. Hey, I don't know if I'm on air.
You're on air.
Yeah. Just to let you know, I guess it's a quiet night. Next week on my bucket list, I'm going to try to knock off USS Hornet.
Oh, you're going to the USS Hornet for an investigation or just to get to her?
there's a Paracon actually going on there, I guess,
yeah.
next weekend. A small one.
I
And
wish-
I know someone told me they're going to MI Paracon all the way in the other direction. What's her name? Jamie?
Yeah. Out in California?
Yeah. Well, MI
You're
is
gonna
on
have
the
a
other
good
part of
time
the world.
on the Hornet.
Yeah, and I'm going to be on the Hornet all night.
The bunkers and the cafeteria had a lot of really good activity.
Well, we basically are going to have to camp in the bunkers. I put down co-ed, so I'm bringing some of my...
it already?
I'm live right now. I'm going to be over there in the bunker on, I guess it's Saturday night is when we have the whole event that goes all the way to Sunday morning.
You'll feel tickles around your neck and stuff. Like,
I'll see what I experience over there.
yeah.
Well, let me know if you get anything.
Yeah, I will. Hopefully next weekend. So yeah, I just decided to pop on air because it's a quiet night and all types of weird conversations going on.
Yeah.
I'm in California, by the way, and everyone's telling me this is a hurricane, tropical storm, but just a nasty, heavy rain.
Well, it's
that's
a big
all.
state, you know. It depends where you're at.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, we had a lot of rain in January where we actually had landslides. This is like, nothing. Literally nothing. I mean, if you lived in Florida, you know what cats and dogs when it rains.
Yeah, we have that kind of weather every day. We don't have landslides.
Yeah,
but we
you're
have
from St.
sinkholes.
Augustine, Florida.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Yeah, well, next time I'm out in that direction, we got a light out. Oh, no.
Yeah, you got to go to St. Augustine, man. That was a lot of fun. I want to go out to California. I want to go see the Queen Mary. I want to see USS Hornet. I love ships, even though I'm totally scared of drowning in big oceans and water.
They're sinking the Mary.
USS Hornet.
Are they sinking the Mary?
I don't know what's going on with the Queen Mary. I know it's bought by different ownership, but I know there's some radio community guys that talk about it. They do some ham radio stuff on board. But I know back when Darkness Dave actually used to run events back on Queen Mary, I used to pull up there for like a whole weekend. We'd have like hundreds of people visit and stuff.
Right here. What's here?
Yeah, I'm in the car, so if you're hearing the background, that's the driver talking.
So,
Yeah, and he's also live, that means.
Well, thank you for calling in, Drake.
All right, no problem.
Have a good night.
Talk to you later.
All right, bye. Well, that's it for the show. I think that's where I'm going to cut it off for the night since our guest Peter Benson didn't show up. Hopefully we get him rescheduled. I'll have to get this retitled or something on here afterwards, but hopefully we get him rescheduled at some point. You know, these things happen. Check my email one more time, see if you ever responded. Nope. Probably overslept. That's my late night show. It's not the first time. Won't be the last time. Next Sunday, hopefully we don't have this again. We have Cameron Turner Schott, if you say her name, or Schott. She's the author of Phoenixes and Angels. That's who we'll have on next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Show, if you're tuning in for the first time, usually goes another hour, but our guest didn't show, so at some point we run out of things to talk about before YouTube's like, okay, we got to ban them. That's when we start getting that territory when I don't have a guest. Guests save me from that. Sometimes the guests don't save me from that. But tonight, that was it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to everybody who shares out the show. Keep telling people about Paranormal Soup, where the weird happens live every Sunday night, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Central, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific time. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. And thank you to all of our Patreons out there who donate $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever you want. Donate helps pay the bills for the show. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. See you next week.